Question banks. How to download one from a publisher's website, import it into your Canvas classroom, remove unwanted questions quickly and efficiently, as well as add some random questions from that question bank to a quiz. All of these will be covered in this video. I'm going to be utilizing Cengage's website because that is the one I have access to, but other publishers have similar ways to download a question bank to your computer that you can utilize in your classroom. So I'm going to scroll down. I am logged in. In Cengage, we use something called Cognero Test Bank Generator. And on that, I need to locate, of course, the particular chapter that I'm looking for. In this case, I need chapter 10. And this took me a while to figure out, but I drag and I drop it into the test generator and it pulls up all of the questions. 10 of the questions. Then I click on all questions. I can see all the questions that are in that question bank. Turns out there to be quite a lot, way more than I want. I could start deleting them now, but what I found out with my particular, and this just could be just for me because I found some others that were not true, I cannot delete any one of these because of some restriction with the publisher. When I go to delete it, it tells me, oh, are you sure? And then I'm like, yes, I'm sure. And then it says, no, you can't because of, again, publisher provided cannot be deleted. Okay, fine. But let me just show you really quickly, if that is not the case for you, you can enable multi-select in Cognero and select multiple ones. And then you can select, and hit delete. And it'll go through the process of deleting them. All right, but I do not have that luxury. I'm just going to have to export all of these, all 100 questions. So I choose Blackboard 7.1. No matter where you're downloading from this, you need to export to a Blackboard. That will be the one thing that you can import into Canvas very easily. You want to save it to a location that you can quickly find it. So this is my test bank area. I like a little shorter name, so I'm going to call this chapter 10. All right, so I'm going to save that. And now I need to go into my classroom, so I'm going to pause. Okay, now I have downloaded a Blackboard file of my test bank that I need for my classroom. I'm inside my Canvas classroom and I've gone to the settings section of my classroom on the course details page. And if I scroll down to the bottom, because I have a low resolution, my options are at the bottom. You might find your options to the right, but you will find import content into this course. This is where you can select multiple things. I need, in this case, a Blackboard 6 export zip file selection. I'm going to select that and choose Browse and locate that chapter 10 that I'm looking for. I found that I don't have to select a bank or create a new bank. It will do this automatically. I only need to click All Content, then Import. As you can see, I actually did this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and run this again to show it to you for the purposes of demonstration here. Of course, when it's done, it will say completed. Now I'm ready to work with my quiz bank. So I'm going to click on Quizzes. And in the upper right-hand corner, I click on Manage Question Banks. And here I'm going to go to my chapter 10, which is the one that I need to work with. I've got 107 questions in there, and that is way more than I need for my quiz. A little quirky thing about the quiz banks I'm going to show right now. If you go to a quiz bank with less than 50 questions in it, like this one that I've already culled down to just the questions that I want, I do have the ability to show details and I can see the correct answer, and this is really nice. I can see what's going on with the questions. However, very quirky, but if you have more than 50 questions, as I do here, I have 107 questions in this question bank that I need to cull. I don't have that option, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of a workaround, and I'm going to show you what I do to get more of these questions out of here, the ones that I do not want. I can start deleting them, but that takes a lot of time, especially figuring out which ones I need to delete. So this is what I do. I actually move the questions because it's I can quickly select multiple questions to move in one movement. However, I still don't know which ones are true, false, and which are the ones I want to get rid of. I only want to keep my multiple choice questions and my critical thinking questions. So I'll show you what I do. I go back to the publishing site where I can clearly see that my first question that is multiple choice is question number 37. Each dot in the bitmap image is called blank. Okay, so that I need to delete all the ones above that, and then I can, nice for me, I can see where my critical thinking begins, and I'm going to be deleting almost everything after that because I don't want to have to manually come back and grade the input where they can just put in their answer. So now I know which one I need to look for. I'm going to go back to my classroom. Here in my classroom, I'm going to click Move or Copy Questions. And in this case, I can see my list here. First, I'm going to select you can create a new one, or you can select, for me, I've been using one called Junk Photoshop Questions. This is just a question bank that I can quickly toss these unwanted questions into. Now I know which one I'm looking for. I can start check marking these because they come in the same order in here. I know that these are my true false questions, and I'm going to keep selecting until I find that question that I know is my first question that's multiple choice. I'm going to unpause for a second. I've made it down to my first multiple choice questions, but I still have to go down and get more underneath those multiple choice questions, starting with my critical base thinking questions. I'm going to leave those, and then I'm going to start removing the fill in the blanks that I don't want. Okay, now I have all the unwanted questions selected. Yay! All right, and I still have it's sending it to my junk Photoshop. I'm going to move all these questions in one command. All right, now I'm going to go back out into my question bank. See how many are left over. Hopefully it's 20. I've been having some difficulty with that. All right, I still have 36 multiple choice questions, and I'm under that 50. I can show the details so I can see, oh, I missed one true false question. That's not a problem. I have the rest of them are my multiple choice questions, and I am good to go to add this to my chapter quiz, which I'm going to do next. Okay, I need to add my quiz for that chapter 10, and I like to go straight to the module that I'm going to have this quiz, which saves me an extra step later. Instead of going to the quiz page and creating the quiz and then having to then go and add it to the module, I start here is the module that I need for this to go into. I'm going to add a new quiz to this module, and I'm going to call it this is going to be quiz 10, Photoshop chapter 10. Okay, so I'm going to add the quiz, and then I'm going to add the questions from the quiz. So as soon as that's added, I'm going to scroll down, and I will see that my quiz chapter 10, Photoshop chapter 10 is going to be available right there. I'm going to click on that and get into the quiz. Now, I have a couple of tricks on this. I click Edit, and going to the questions. You're going to get 10. For me, I want 20 random questions out of what remains in my question bank after I called it. So to do that, I create a new question bank. I'm going to go, I can just leave a group if I want to, or I can name it, 20 questions. That's just for me. I'm asking it 20 questions. Now, here's the peculiarity with Canvas. I need to know that if I choose 20 questions, I need to tell it that it's going to be 5 points per question so that I have a 100-point quiz. This is why it's a good idea to choose a number of questions that's divisible by 100 exactly, so you don't have that ODC student coming to you and go, why do I have a 99.99? Do choose the number of questions that can divide evenly into 100 if you want to save yourself that kind of grief. Now, I'm going to link to a question bank. In this case, of course, I'm looking for my Color Techniques bank here. Select that bank. Now I have it selecting 20 questions, 5 points a piece, and I've linked to the question bank, this one. Now, here is the lure that you're going to do once and then you'll never do it again, or you'll try not to. It's alluring to click save down here at the bottom, but that is saving the entire quiz without you having actually created the group. So after you create the group and you do all the details, click create group, or you will have nothing. Not until you see this like this, where you've got the group in place, can you save it, and it is now part of the quiz. All right, this is ready to go. If I want to preview it, I can preview it and see that this is looking the way I want it to look, and this is looking great, all multiple choice questions, and I'm happy with it and ready to send this off to the students to do. If you have any questions about pulling a question bank or importing it or removing questions or adding it to a quiz, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to help you.